Hello everyone, I'm Autobot Sonic, the Telltale Gamer, bringing this and everything Telltale Games, Transformers, and more. So today, man, do we have quite an announcement. Not only do we have Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, but we have a prequel to Life is Strange that is coming out this next month. So, at the Microsoft E3 press conference, Square Enix announced a 3-episode prequel to Life is Strange titled Life is Strange Before the Storm. And it looks crazy, and this will be the first Life is Strange game in 2 years, and I am telling you, I am really looking forward to it. From the looks of it, it seems as though Chloe will be the main focus of this mini-series. Like I said, it'll be 3 episodes long, similar to The Walking Dead Michonne, how it's sort of a gap between The Walking Dead Season 2 and The Walking Dead A New Frontier. And it will focus on her relationship with Rachel, which I am really glad that we're going to see Rachel, because I guess I'll probably put a spoiler alert in the beginning of this video for anyone who hasn't played Life is Strange. But in at the end of Life is Strange Season 1, we learned that Rachel was murdered by, accidentally overdosed by Nathan after she was drugged and kidnapped by Mr. Jefferson. So this looks like Life is Strange Before the Storm will focus on Chloe and Rachel's relationship in the 5 years in between when Max left Arcadia Bay and came back at the beginning of Life is Strange Season 1. And with this, at the Microsoft E3 press conference, Square Enix released a quick, 90-second trailer for what we can assume is probably the first episode. Like I said, currently, Life is Strange Episode 1 of Before the Storm is set to be released on August 31st for Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Mac, which I am really looking forward to. Now, before we get into this analysis, I just want to point out that to everyone who's wondering, no, this is not Life is Strange Season 2. Don't Nod, the creators of the original first season of Life is Strange, is in the process of developing Season 2, but this Life is Strange Before the Storm is being made by a different developer known as Deck 9, but it's still running on the Life is Strange Season 1 engine. So, just for everyone to clear anything up, Life is Strange Before the Storm is not Life is Strange Season 2. I think Life is Strange Season 2 is going to be a lot, all different casts, because Don't Nod said it plenty times after Season 1 ended that if they were to make a second Life is Strange, which has been confirmed to be happening, that it would not focus on Max or Chloe or any of the other Season 1 characters, because to me, I think we get kind of repetitive and kind of avoid, some of the stillness that maybe Telltale got, with The Walking Dead New Frontier. So I'm 100% supportive of Don't Nod for doing that, but for this, with Deck 9 making a little prequel spin-off of Season 1, add a little more to Chloe, to the Max story, I'm happy for that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the trailer now.
I feel numb in this kingdom. I feel numb. I feel numb in this kingdom.
So the first 45 seconds, essentially the first half of this trailer, really doesn't tell us much. We get this look of this quite familiar sight of Chloe smoking inside her room. You can see here Chloe does not have her blue hair that she did in Season 1 of Life is Strange, as she still has her original brown hair. that she had all the way when she was a child, even back in the episode 3 and 4 flashbacks. And even we saw this in the alternate timeline for episode 4 when instead it was Chloe that became crippled in the car crash, then instead of her father dying, she has the exact same hair color as that. One thing to point out though is towards the end of this shot in which we see a crow lands on Chloe's door. Now, the crow is a symbol that pops up a lot throughout this trailer, so I guess this could be symbolizing, because the crow is going to symbolize like death and famine, like basically just bad luck in general. So I guess with Legend Before the Storm, basically the crow is sort of saying how Chloe is like some sort of spiritual connection to death. It could be also tied in with the fact that it's foreshadowing how Rachel will eventually die and such. So I thought that was just a nice little tidbit to go explain like why the crow shows up. This isn't the last time we will see the crow in the trailer, but just for now, this is just a little my theory as to what the meaning behind the crow is. Now these next two shots are really interesting. We see after the crow flies out of Chloe's window, we see this train screeching on its brakes, very similar to what happened in episode 2 of Life is Strange when Chloe was almost run over by a train, but thanks to Max she wasn't. Could it be possible that Chloe is experiencing some sort of flash forward or something in which she experiences about to be almost being run over by the train again? Or is this a different account? Maybe she's riding on the train or something. Maybe someone else is going to get hit by the train. Who knows? After that, we get a shot of what seems like a rave going on inside the junkyard, or maybe even the barn that the Prescott barn that which Darkroom is under in episode 4. We see in this one shot, we see Chloe on this platform dancing. It could be this I think this just ties in, maybe this would be like where Chloe meets Rachel for the first time, because she met, as we heard from Chloe in season 1 and episode 1, Chloe met Rachel shortly after Max left Arcadia Bay, in like the first year of her leaving Arcadia Bay. So we'll have to see if this is where she meets Rachel. Now this next shot I find is really interesting. What we have is Chloe wakes up in this car and we see that it's her father Will driving, and then it just cuts over in which the car gets hit by this oncoming truck. Now, if you remember in Life is Strange, Chloe's father was killed in a car crash, and that was the whole thing in episode 3, and that Max prevents that, but at the same time, like, she fucks up time so that Chloe ends up the one being in the car crash and she ends up being crippled. So in order to fix that, she ends up going back in time and not like interfering so that her father dies in the car crash. Now, my question is though, Chloe wasn't in that car crash. Why is she here? Could she be dreaming? Is it possible that the fan theory that Rachel had time powers like Max is true and Rachel is showing Rachel's showing Chloe this? Who knows, but it's certainly probably one of the most interesting parts of this trailer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Deck 9 has to offer with this. The next 5 seconds or so of this trailer shows what seems to be Chloe walking up the steps of Blackwell Academy. In this one shot we see, while she's partly obscuring the banner, we see that it says "Good Luck Seniors." Now, if you remember in Life is Strange episode 3, we learned that Chloe was actually a student at Blackwell but was expelled for bad behavior and stuff like that. So it could be possible that maybe this is after Chloe gets expelled from Blackwell and she's just reflecting as like all her graduating class graduates, and she's probably pissed off that she screwed it all up like that. That's what I think anyway. Also a interesting thing to point out here is that at this time still Max is currently not yet back in Blackwell, so I don't think we'll be seeing Max at all in Life Before the Storm. We might see her at the end of episode 3. Like I think it would be pretty cool if episode 3 ends with Chloe reuniting with Max like what happens about halfway through episode 1 of the first season. I think that would be a cool way to tie together Before the Storm in the first season. So we'll have to wait and see for that. After that, we get a pretty interesting scene that involves Chloe and Frank dealing with a bunch of like 2 other like drug dealers, stuff like that. They look like it kind of looks like the Prescott barn, but to me it actually looks like more some sort of other hiding place. We see Frank seems to be defending Chloe, as we saw before that Frank and Chloe have sort of a estranged relationship. And I'm wondering though, it's kind of curious seeing how Chloe and Frank are, how Frank is going to be in this, considering how Frank could possibly die in Life is Strange Season 1 if you don't mess up, if you do the right thing, he can be killed by Chloe accidentally. So I'm wondering to see what Frank's role is going to be in this, because what we saw in episodes 2, 3, and even 4 of Life is Strange Season 1 Frank was kind of an asshole, and so to see Before the Storm painting as sort of a sympathetic character, I'm really surprised to see what Deck 9 has planned for Frank in Before the Storm, so we'll have to wait and see for that. Now, one shot that I think that is very, very interesting in this trailer is this shot right here of this tree being set on fire, followed by Chloe inside the car with her father, touching the window and seeing another hand touch her. Now, I have no idea what this could mean. Could it be Rachel's hand, because the bracelet on her arm kind of looks like Rachel's? Could it be her stuff? Could be an alternate reality version of Chloe, similar to how Max talked to an alternate reality version of herself in episode 5? Could it be Max even, because the bracelet kind of looks like Max too? I think it might be. I think though it's still to me personally, I think it's either Rachel or an alternate version of Chloe to me, and I think Rachel may have the time traveling powers that we all assumed that she did in season 1. That's what everyone was saying in season 1, that that reason why Rachel's gone is because she had time powers like Max, and she just like screwed up with them and got stuck in like a time loop or something. But no, she ended up being drugged and accidentally overdosed by Nathan. So I'm curious to see what Deck 9 has planned for with the whole Chloe and Rachel storyline, and how this ties in with her father. We'll have to wait and see for that. After that, we have another shot of the train. We see it pass by Chloe wearing this black hood. Now, an interesting thing to point out is that it seems that the train is really, really stopping right before Chloe. So it seems still possibly, like I said, Chloe may be living on the train with Frank. Maybe this is one of Frank's hideouts. She's taking the train to one of Frank's hideouts. Who knows? That's then followed by this long scene of Chloe just going to town in the junkyard from episodes 2 and 4. We see her like just randomly smashing stuff, knocking over this carton filled with a camera, very similar to Max's camera in episode 1 before Chloe gives her her dad's camera. And then finally, we get probably the most exciting part of this trailer, and that is we finally see Rachel in this game. Now, if you remember, we only saw Rachel in season 1 as in the form of photographs, and we saw her very, very decomposed body in episode 4 after we found out she was buried in the junkyard. So we see Chloe calling out to Rachel, and she looks just like she does in the screenshots. We see her wearing like this. She looks like she's wearing even one of a reskin of Max's outfit episode 3. Because remember in episode 3 when Max gets new outfits, Chloe blends her some of Rachel's old clothes. Like she had this red flannel on, and here she's wearing it looks like a dark blue one. So it looks like I like to see that there's a little continuity nod there with Rachel's outfits. I'm really looking forward to see what Rachel to me. I feel more excited about seeing Rachel in Before the Storm than I am Chloe. I think I honestly would have preferred if Rachel was the main character instead of Chloe. It is nice though that Rachel is going to be a main character in Before the Storm, so I'm really excited to see how that goes. After that, we get one final shot of the what looks like to be the Blackwell lighthouse that basically centers around everything in season 1 of Life is Strange. We see a crow landing on one of the telescopes overlooking a long valley and hillside, and then we finally get the reveal of that it's Life is Strange Before the Storm, and that's all we have. I am really looking forward to this. So that was my analysis of the Life is Strange Before the Storm announcement trailer. Are you guys excited for the return of Life is Strange? If you are, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.